Hello, my amazing students. I'm so happy to welcome you here today. My name is Maya, and you are listening to Miss English Channel. Today, we are going to talk about something simple but very important in our daily school life, lunch at school. Lunch at school is not only about eating food. It is a time to relax, to share, to connect with friends, and to get energy for the rest of the day. For many students, lunchtime is one of the most enjoyable parts of the day. It is the moment when lessons pause, books are closed, and we can sit together to talk, laugh, and recharge. In this lesson, I will take you through the experience of lunchtime step by step. We will explore the sounds, the smells, the atmosphere, and the feelings that make this time so special. You will also learn useful English expressions and phrases you can use to describe your own lunchtime experience. Don't worry if you don't understand everything immediately. I will speak clearly and slowly. You can repeat the sentences after me and imagine the scenes in your mind. Step by step, your English will improve while you enjoy the story. So, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin our journey together. Episode 1: The Bell Rings for Lunch. The classroom is quiet as the teacher finishes the last words of the morning lesson. Suddenly, the bell rings loudly, echoing through the hallways. The sound of the bell brings instant excitement. Chairs slide back, notebooks close, and the classroom fills with energy. Everyone knows what time it is. It is lunchtime. I stand up slowly, stretching my arms after hours of sitting at my desk. My stomach growls softly, reminding me how hungry I am. Around me, my classmates are smiling and chatting, already thinking about their meals. Some students rush to pack their things quickly, while others take their time, carefully putting away their books. The air feels lighter now because we all know we can relax for a while. Walking through the hallway, I hear footsteps, laughter, and the cheerful voices of students talking about food. Some are excited about sandwiches their parents packed. Others are curious about what the school cafeteria is serving today. The smell of warm meals drifts through the air, making everyone's mouth water. It is a mix of rice, chicken, vegetables, and freshly baked bread. When I reach the cafeteria, I notice the long line forming at the counter. Trays are stacked neatly, and the kitchen staff are busy serving portions with friendly smiles. I take a tray, hold it in my hands, and wait patiently in line. While waiting, I talk to a friend about the morning classes. We share small jokes and laugh, which makes the time pass quickly. Finally, it is my turn. I receive a plate of food, some rice, a piece of chicken, and a side of salad. The portion looks delicious, and I feel grateful for the warm meal. I carry my tray carefully to a table near the window. Sunlight shines through the glass, creating a warm and cheerful atmosphere. As I sit down, I greet my friends already at the table. We smile, exchange stories, and say things like "This smells so good," or I was really waiting for this moment. Before eating, I take a sip of water to refresh myself. Then, I pick up my fork and begin the first bite. The food tastes comforting, and I feel my energy slowly returning. Around me, the cafeteria is alive with movement and sound. Students are eating, chatting, and sometimes trading small snacks with each other. The noise is loud but full of joy. It feels like a big family sharing lunch together. Every bite makes me feel more relaxed, and every laugh with my friends makes the experience brighter. By the time I finish my plate, I feel satisfied, happy, and ready for the rest of the day. Lunch is not only about eating, it is about connection, friendship, and small moments of joy. Episode 2: Conversations and Sharing Food. After I take my first bites of lunch, the real fun begins. Eating is not just about filling my stomach, it is also about enjoying the company of my friends. Around the table, conversations flow easily, filled with laughter, stories, and playful comments. The cafeteria feels like a buzzing beehive, full of energy and excitement. One of my friends talks about the math test we had in the morning. She says it was challenging but also interesting. Another friend mentions the science experiment we are going to do tomorrow. As we talk, we mix serious topics with funny jokes, and everyone feels included. These conversations are light but meaningful, creating a sense of connection that goes beyond the classroom. I notice that some students bring homemade meals packed in colorful lunchboxes. Sometimes they share small portions with each other. For example, one friend offers me a piece of fruit, while I share part of my sandwich. These small exchanges create warmth and kindness. It is not about the size of the food shared, it is about the thought and the care behind it. In the middle of the cafeteria, I see a group of students playing a quiet game with their snacks. They are laughing softly, enjoying a moment of creativity. Another group is discussing their favorite sports teams, while some students sit calmly, eating quietly, and reading books at the same time. Every corner of the cafeteria tells a different story. As I continue eating, I realize how important these lunchtime conversations are. They help us relax after long lessons. They also teach us skills like listening, sharing, and showing respect to others. For example, when one person is speaking, we try to listen carefully instead of interrupting. When we disagree, we learn to respond politely, saying things like, "I see your point," or "That's interesting." The noise of clinking trays, laughter, and footsteps blends into a joyful rhythm. Sometimes a teacher walks into the cafeteria to check on us. They smile, reminding us to stay polite and keep the space clean. Even in these small reminders, we feel a sense of care and responsibility. When I finish my meal, I take a few minutes just to sit and enjoy the moment. My friends and I continue chatting, sometimes about our favorite hobbies, sometimes about our dreams for the future. These conversations make lunchtime more than just eating. It becomes a chance to build friendships and practice important life skills. Finally, as the time for lunch comes closer to ending, I look around and see happy faces everywhere. Some students are still eating quickly, others are already standing up to return their trays. The cafeteria feels like a small world, full of different people, stories, and emotions, all connected by one simple thing: sharing lunch together. Episode 3: Activities and Relaxation After Lunch. After finishing lunch, the schoolyard slowly fills with students again. The cafeteria empties, and the sound of chatter moves outside. For me, this part of the day is very special because it is not only about resting but also about enjoying small activities with friends. The sunlight feels warm, the air is fresh, and the atmosphere is full of freedom. Some students like to play games after eating. On one side of the yard, I see a group playing basketball. Their voices rise with excitement each time someone scores a point. On another side, some students are running, chasing each other with laughter. These simple games bring so much happiness and energy, giving everyone a chance to refresh their minds before the next lessons begin. Other students prefer quiet activities. Some sit under the trees, reading books or reviewing notes for the next subject. I sometimes join them because I find it relaxing to go through my notebook in the open air. The sound of birds, mixed with the voices of students, creates a peaceful background. It is almost like the schoolyard becomes a small park during this break. I also enjoy short walks with my friends. We talk about things that are not related to school, like our favorite TV shows, new songs we enjoy, or small plans for the weekend. These walks make me feel light and happy. They remind me that school is not only about studying but also about living and creating memories together. Sometimes a teacher passes by during this time, checking on students or simply smiling at us. These small interactions show that teachers also care about our well-being, not just our grades. A simple smile or a kind word can make us feel supported and encouraged. Another important part of this time is responsibility. After lunch, everyone must make sure their trays are returned and the cafeteria is left clean. Keeping the school tidy is not only respectful but also teaches us discipline and teamwork. When we see everyone doing their part, it feels like we are working together for a better environment. As the minutes pass, the school bell rings again, signaling that the break is almost over. Students slowly gather their books, adjust their uniforms, and prepare to return to class. The energy of the yard starts to quiet down, but the smiles remain on our faces. For me, these moments of relaxation after lunch are very important. They give me the strength to focus again in the classroom. They remind me that balance is necessary. Work and rest must come together. With a refreshed mind and a happy heart, I feel ready for the next lessons of the day. Episode 4: returning to class after lunch. After the lunch break and the moments of rest in the schoolyard, the bell rings again. Its sound echoes across the yard, reminding every student that it is time to return to class. Slowly, groups of friends stop their games, close their notebooks, and head toward the building. The schoolyard becomes quieter, but a new energy fills the hallways. When I walk back to my classroom, I feel both relaxed and ready. The break gave me the energy to continue learning, and now my mind is open for new lessons. As I enter the classroom, I notice my classmates returning one by one. Some are still smiling from the games they played, while others are quietly preparing their desks for the next subjects. The atmosphere is both lively and focused. The teacher arrives shortly after. With a calm but energetic voice, the lesson begins again. In the afternoon, the subjects sometimes feel more challenging because our bodies are a little tired, but our minds are sharper after the short rest. For example, today we start with mathematics. The problems require patience and careful thinking. I take a deep breath, write step by step in my notebook, and remind myself that mistakes are part of learning. Each correct answer feels like a victory, and even mistakes guide me toward improvement. After math, we move on to literature. This subject feels different. It touches the imagination and emotions. Today we read a story together. The teacher asks us to read aloud, and each student takes turns. When it is my turn, I speak slowly and clearly, trying to pronounce each word correctly. My classmates listen, and I feel proud to share the story with them. Literature is not just about reading words. It is about understanding feelings and learning how to express them. Sometimes, during these afternoon lessons, concentration becomes difficult. The warm classroom and the calm rhythm of the teacher's voice can make students sleepy. To stay focused, I write small notes in the margin of my notebook, underline important points, and ask questions when I do not understand something. These small habits keep my attention sharp. Another part of returning to class is teamwork. Teachers often give us group activities where we must discuss ideas, solve problems, or prepare a short presentation. Working with classmates is not always easy, but it is valuable. We learn to listen, respect different opinions, and share responsibilities. I notice that when we cooperate, the task becomes easier and more enjoyable. As the lessons continue, I realize that the afternoon is an important time for practice. In the morning, we often learn new concepts, but in the afternoon we apply them. This balance between learning and practicing helps us grow steadily. When the final bell for the day approaches, the classroom is still filled with the sound of pens writing and voices sharing ideas. The afternoon lessons, though sometimes tiring, give us a sense of achievement. We feel that we have worked hard, learned new things, and taken another step forward. Walking out of the classroom, I carry with me not only my books but also the lessons of the day. Returning to class after lunch may seem ordinary, but it teaches discipline, focus, and persistence. These qualities are not only useful for school but also for life. My amazing students, we have now reached the end of our journey through lunch at school. Together, we explored the excitement of preparing for lunch, the joy of eating with friends, the fun and energy of the schoolyard, and finally the calm focus of returning to class. Each episode showed us that lunch at school is more than just food. It is an important part of our learning, our friendships, and our growth. We discovered that preparing our meals teaches organization and responsibility. Sharing food and conversation at the lunch table teaches kindness and connection. Playing in the schoolyard teaches teamwork, energy, and creativity. Returning to class after lunch teaches focus, discipline, and persistence. Step by step, these small daily routines help us become stronger, wiser, and more confident students. Remember, my dear learners, English is not only found in textbooks, it lives in our daily experiences. You can describe your lunch, your friends, your games, and your lessons in English. Every simple activity at school becomes an opportunity to practice speaking, listening, and expressing yourself. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. I encourage you to take these lessons into your own life. Next time you eat lunch at school, try to describe what you see, hear, and feel in English. Share your stories with friends, write them in your notebook, or even speak them out loud. Step by step, your English will improve, and so will your confidence. And finally, thank you for joining me on this journey. You are amazing students, and I am so proud of your effort and progress. Stay curious, stay positive, and always believe in your ability to grow. Don't forget, you can always come back to practice more with me here at Miss English Channel. Together, we will continue learning English in fun, practical, and inspiring ways. Until next time, keep smiling, keep practicing, and remember, every small effort today builds your big success tomorrow.